Okay, with us this hour is Yoichi Shimatsu, one of the great writers and researchers on the planet, who is with us weekly and has been for years. We talk about many things, and tonight we're going to talk about, among other things, something that is in headlines at Rents. It's a very unusual story, and I want you all to try and find it. I think I posted 70 stories today, so if you count down about 7 news blocks, you'll find it. It's there. And I'll give you the exact title here. Hold on just a second. Okay, it has to do with deer, and deer dying under very unusual circumstances. And this is a story that happened in, I believe, Norway. And I'm looking for the story. Hold on, I'll find it. There it is. Hundreds of reindeer killed by mystery lightning in Norway. And I want you to click on that and open it up and take a look. Hundreds of deer, look for the keywords, hundreds of reindeer, actually. Let me see if I can find out how many blocks it's down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6. No. There it is. Okay, I've got it now. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Looks like fifth box down today, and I can't find, but it's there. You'll find it. All right. Hundreds of deer, Norway. There it is. 5th box. Hundreds of reindeer killed by mystery lightning in Norway. Now, Yoshi sent me this morning, and I put it together and put it up today because it is odd, and he kept doing more research on it, and he's standing by right now from somewhere on the other side of the planet. Are you there?
Yeah, I am. I'm on the borders of Thailand, and this story really popped up. Norway, I spent a lot of time in Scandinavia, Norway, Finland, parts of Sweden after Chernobyl. After the herds had to be killed off because of the radioactivity from Chernobyl. Herds were coming back. Still lots of radioactive moss now. But this is a much different thing. This what happened is, in that story, I hope you posted the photo of the dead reindeer there.
It's you bet.
If you notice, a lightning bolt would cause a grass fire there. It's late summer there, not a lot of precipitation, so the strike would have burned area of grass, but you see the grass is totally green.
It's all green, dead reindeer, all green grass, water off in the distance.
So basically, this is not a conventional lightning strike, which generates, a lot of heat, radius of heat, or, spots, big burning spots would cause a grass fire in a place like that. And maybe even you would see it on the hides of the deer, like blisters and so on, but nothing like that. They just died where they fell, okay? And the grass is fine.
That's exactly what it looks like.
This is about, This is electroshock experience, but it's caused by what's called a gamma ray flux. And what's happening since Fukushima, and I've been warning about this, 5 years now, that this stuff is going to happen, and it's happening big time. And this event is very important because of that photo, because we got details that they all died fairly suddenly. It wasn't a long kill-off, maybe within minutes, within an hour, let's say. And so this is real evidence that we haven't had, let's say, on the kill-offs of caribou in Canada, Alaska, the massive kill-off recently in May in Kazakhstan on the steppe there, on the grasslands there, 120,000 antelope. They're called saiga antelope. That's half of the national wild herd got wiped out in May, and the same thing within a few days. Okay?
Really? Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That's the biggest probably kill-off in the history of the steppe. It's not drought. There was plenty of rain before that this spring, too much rain, in fact. And there's various theories, and we'll go over all this stuff right now. But basically, what I've been saying, and this basically confirms it, is that gamma ray radiation killing, but it's a very specialized form that we haven't really seen act in this sort of huge scale as we've seen now.
Right.
What it is that over the past years, as is known, in fact, over the decades, the number of solar flares, the sunspot activity has been diminishing, okay?
Right.
Okay, we've seen it diminishing. And sun flares, as bad as they are, for sending all kinds of electromagnetic energy down to the planet, knocking out power stations, satellites and all, as bad as they are, they do have a positive effect of basically pushing aside, they push aside cosmic radiation. So what we have is from distant galaxies, it's really not known by scientists exactly what's causing these gamma rays to come down in the cosmic radiation. There's various theories, quasar bursts and so on. One thing we do know is that there are uranium core stars out there in the galaxy. All of the Earth's uranium is alien in origin. It doesn't come from the solar system, okay? It come from a star that blew apart, and its core is uranium, and it came down and bombarded Mars and Earth. That's probably what destroyed life on Mars, was the bombardment, and destroyed its atmosphere and swept away its water, destroyed its electromagnetic system. So these sort of events of massive gamma ray bursts, and there are some scientific theories, or some scientists that believe that some of the 6 kill-offs, major kill-offs, were caused by massive gamma ray bursts that were closer into us. Long ago past, like a wave that passed us. We can't detect it now, but there are some scientists who believe that caused extinction events. So that would correspond exactly to what we've been saying about Fukushima opening up a massive ozone hole around the Arctic. There was a negligible ozone hole in the past, before Fukushima.
Right.
Between April and June after 2011, just a month after Fukushima, a massive ozone hole opened up over the Arctic Circle, and it's still expanding, okay? And then we're getting less and less, there's less and less ozone over the northern hemisphere. And so the effects of the borealis, of the northern lights, they started to see them, and not just in Scotland, but in northern England, and also we're seeing these effects. Okay, so basically, a vast unprotected space over the atmosphere over the Arctic. Okay, which is allowing cosmic radiation to stream in at a time that cosmic radiation is not being buffered away by solar flares, by solar activity. Okay, so what this is much of that is gamma rays, and this stuff is very powerful. One of the strange scientific findings was astronomers who observed this far-off galaxy called Markov 501. Okay, and that this galaxy basically sent gamma rays and light photons. Okay. And they were picked up on Earth. What happened is that in the race to Earth, the gamma rays were actually faster than the speed of light.
Huh.
Okay, so gamma rays are the great destroyers. They just destroyed Einsteinian relativity. And they tried to cover this up. They talked about the things were warped, the light was warped through space and all that. They tried to come up with all excuses. Well, the universe is a far more complex place than Einstein's, little model of expansion there, it doesn't, so basically gamma rays are extremely destructive. They go right through steel, alpha and beta rays, they will bounce off metal and so on. They won't penetrate concrete, but gamma rays will go right through, right through concrete, right through steel, and keep going. Okay, so basically,
don't even slow down.
Deer are outdoors. They're exposed. The cosmic rays coming down powerfully, like in May, it's the beginning of summer. Yeah. And now, in the early, late summer now in the Nordic area, massive amounts, maybe unprecedented in the, mammals have been the dominant species, have been raining down. What happens, it seems that at the cloud line level, in the fog, okay, it's interacting it's basically charging. These cosmic rays are charging the fallout from nuclear plants. So in Scandinavia, that would be fallout from Fukushima that's been building there, but also in the Baltic from the Leningrad leaking, a very much damaged Leningrad nuclear plant near St. Petersburg, okay? So it's at the juncture of these two waves of radiation, plus the soil there is granitic, so you would have a lot of background radiation there anyway. So this cosmic radiation would basically drive, will merge with the radiation at the lower levels of the atmosphere, rain down on these gears. And there's a point, it's called 30 grays. Gray is basically one gray is 1 sievert per second. Massive dosages. At 30 grays, it's instantaneous death. Okay.
Wow.
It's like being electrocuted. You're just shut down, you fall.
Yeah.
And this apparently happened to these deer. Now, these 120,000 antelopes in Kazakhstan that died in May, it rained heavily there, okay? And people are saying, well, maybe they ate toxic weeds and all. Well, as you know, deer and antelope, the old Vikings and all the old Sami people, all the tribal people, they drink the urine of reindeer to get high, basically, to eat these magic mushrooms. Humans, if you eat them, they'll destroy your kidneys. The deer have such powerful digestive systems that, they're ruminants, and they also have very powerful kidneys. So they can eat toxic materials, huge quantities that humans can never even approach, all right, and survive. It's not that. What the cause in Kazakhstan is that Kazakhstan it was the center of the Soviet nuclear weapons program, the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site. My friend Morizumi, my cameraman, documented that very, very thoroughly there. Massive numbers of atmospheric tests, underground tests occurred there. You got uranium mines there in the Tian Shan Mountains. So this area has a tremendous amount of radiation. And then it's north enough to be within this ozone hole left by Fukushima radiation. So what happened is after the rain, after the precipitation, you see evaporation. And that evaporation is carrying up all this radioactive material from the ground and from underground, okay? Moving it into cloud level, okay? At a certain point, cosmic radiation comes in, brings it right down, and it's accelerating these, it's accelerating these photons, it's accelerating the radioactive particles, going right through the deer, killing them. What can we do about it?
Well, wait a minute.
Well, in science fiction, this is the death ray. And see, when you're in old science fiction, you should talk about the death ray. Okay?
Sure.
That's what this is. Gamma rays are the death ray. When you get 30 grade blasts of gamma rays, everything in your line of sight, go right through a spaceship or through a space colony and kill everything in sight. This is like a neutron bomb.
Well, you have just given us a description of something that a physicist would give us, and it makes total sense. It's completely pragmatic and logical, and I'm no physicist. If you don't have it nailed down, I don't know who could. I mean, this is look at those deer.
Well, the sad thing is, where are they? Where is the physics establishment?
No, they're not talking to us. They're taking they're on their grants and on their sure. Yeah. Yep.
They're on the take. Okay, they're not doing anything to defend the humanity from the weapons they unleashed on humanity. I mean, if this is ever, when we see 120,000 antelope dying in one fell swoop, 300.
That's really hard. That's just hard to fathom. Yeah, of course. Wow.
And now we're starting to understand, why did all the birds over North America disappear? What happened to them? What happened to all the deer, the larger animals? They got wiped out. Okay, they got wiped out the same way. They're the death ray. The death ray from this cup streaming through the ozone hole, interacting with the radioactive material closer to ground, is basically this rain. This is what was Bob Dylan? A hard rain's going to fall. This is the hard rain falling all over the northern hemisphere, and it's killing people. I guarantee millions of people are dying at this moment. From the cumulative effects. Now the question is, the most intense effects we're seeing is around the Arctic Circle. How come we're close to it in these large open spaces near nuclear sites? And this nuclear cycling is also confirmed. One of the first real big studies of close to the ground gamma ray effects, cosmic effects, was around the TEPCO, the Tokyo Electric Plant in Niigata. Okay, that's where research was done. For some reason, the TEPCO, the nuclear plants, are like magnets for these intensification of these cosmic rays. And in the same process, I tell you that the radiation that they give off, the presence of radionuclides, these things are being flushed down by the cosmic rays and just making everything more deadly intensive. So the question is, how come we didn't see a lot of foxes, bears, field mice dead all over the place in Kazakhstan?
Right.
Over Norway? Because they burrow.
Mm-hmm. They had protection. Yep.
They're underground.
But the rays would have gone right into the ground, yes, and killed them in the ground.
If it's just solid rock, they should be baked underground. They should be killed underground. But it's not. You see, you got to understand, living forms, your DNA, your proteins, they're the most sensitive to gamma rays, okay? They absorb gamma rays, okay? But that's also your best defense against these things. Organic matter. Burrowing in the dirt, okay? Below grass, you know how the tundra is or the steppes are, is layer after layer, year after year of organic matter. Lots of long proteins, DNA, barrier layers of it. The gamma rays come down, strike that, okay? Hit the telomeres or hit the DNA, and they break apart. Basically, the gamma rays are made dysfunctional. They destroy the organic matter, okay? They destroy the molecule. They break the molecule, but they themselves are wiped out. They fragment, okay, into other particles. Does this make any sense at all why the Vikings used to have moss roofs? Have you been to Vikings' home in Lake Tahoe?
No.
Like there's a Viking house there in Lake Tahoe. Some Nordic people built it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got a moss roof. When I say moss,
I've seen photos.
There's 18 inches.
Yeah, it's totally thick. I know what you mean.
18 inches of moss on there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Viking roof. Well, everyone thinks, the Vikings did this for insulation of their log cabins and all that. Maybe they knew something about, because the Inuit, the Native American people said the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, is a very, very bad omen. It's a very dangerous thing, okay? They don't look at, how beautiful it is. They're not like us idiots, who know nothing about nature. They said, this is dangerous, go hide. Native Americans, they hide under their fur wraps, right? 3 layers of fur.
Yeah.
In other words, these people who survived up there, they swaddled themselves. They swallowed their where they lived with organic matter.
Amazing.
Is that amazing?
That's totally amazing. I understand.
Of life against cosmic warfare out there. The cosmos declaring war to destroy this planet. Is that incredible?
It's totally amazing. I understand. Yeah. I've seen photographs of those houses.
We need to worry about alpha and beta rays too. We got to eliminate alpha, beta, UV. I mean, we got to block everything.
I was told by Dane Wigington, who does all the research on geoengineering, chemtrail spraying, and the war on humanity waged from above, says that the latest readings in areas of Northern California where he lives, which is by Mount Shasta, are that the UVB percentage is up to over 50% now. It should be 6%. It's over 50. Now, you go out in a shirt like I have in the sun, and it actually burns your skin through the shirt. You can feel it.
Right through. Yeah, absolutely. That's what's been happening. I've been saying this about Shasta's right in that belt. I told you.
That's an hour and a half south
California.
of me. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is this black smudge coming from the incinerators in Tokyo.
Hey, listen, I got Yoshi. I mentioned this before, but I was everyone up here and further up to Seattle, which is nine hours north. I got hit. We were dosed heavily. It might have been iodine 131, I don't know. But for about a week to 10 days, I could taste it, I could feel it. It was in the back of my throat. It moved around my sinuses, causing pains all over the front of my face and my forehead. And that was the worst. There was a second one about, 6-8 months later, another exposure. So it's here. There's no question about it, none.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is so obvious. And what is the government doing? What is the government doing?
Come on.
It's harassing people like Dana Durnford, who's out there trying to understand what's going on, trying to make sense of it, trying to find ways, strategies to defend, the planet, living things, including humans, but also animals of all sorts on land, on sea. Harassing, trying to kill them.
Yeah.
I mean,
they do.
The government, the global government, is basically genocidal. They created these nuclear weapons,
unquestionably
to shut them down.
Unquestionable. They are headed. They're headed toward
genocide.
Yeah, they're headed toward. Obviously, they call it a die-off. It may be a kill-off of the majority of the world's population. They're pushing toward nuclear war right now. You can see it. Just watch the news. Look what NATO is being ordered to do. Come on.
These are pathological.
They're
basically psychotic.
They're madmen, cragy.
Sociopaths in power.
Yeah,
they're insane. They're genocidal. It's like Friday the 13th. Imagine, Night of the Living Dead. All those zombies. That's your government.
You got it.
That's your industry.
You got it.
That's your military. It's them zombies out there. Do you understand what's going on?
You got it.
They'll tear anything apart. They are out of their minds.
Yeah.
And this deer kill-off is putting things into a focus of why everything is dying inside the Arctic Circle around, now outside the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Why this wave of death and the circle of death is expanding and expanding and expanding. And then the human populations, we're not getting any numbers, any statistics, no alarms from health services of how the population is decreasing. They're sending in immigrants to boost the population figures of all the Scandinavians who are dying.
Hold on a minute.
What's going on?
Hold on, Yoshi. We got to pause and think about all this for a minute. We'll come right back with Yoshi Shimatsu in just a couple of minutes. Don't go away. Okay. And we're back talking with Yoshi about things that are going on. The expanding circle of death and destruction is obvious and clear. The constant pummeling from west to east across the northern Pacific from Fukushima Daiichi is never going to stop. It's getting worse. We are getting, if you look on the right side, look at the Fukushima radiation box, and look there, you'll see at the top, a bunch of folks have been kind enough to write in their observations about insect life and bird life in their areas. And we're finding the same thing that Dana found out about in British Columbia. The insects are diminishing, if not virtually gone in many places. The birds follow them because there's two links in the chain of life. The food link is gone for the birds, so they leave. It's the top story in the Fukushima nuclear catastrophe box. Updates, no bugs, no birds. As we've warned, extinction is here. Please contribute observations. So if any of you would like to contribute, please go read those and take a notice. Look at your windshield after you've been driving around in August. Maybe you noticed earlier there aren't any bug splats on it to speak of. It used to be you drive 10 minutes, you have bug splats all over your car. Not so much anymore, hardly any. I was out last evening and I saw, used to be swarms of mosquitoes. I saw 2. That's it. That's fine with me. But bees, wasps, yes, they're still around. No flies. I think I've seen 1 fly all summer. No caterpillars. No normal bugs. A few beetles, not many. It's just changed. Birds, gone. Used to be 6, 7, 8 years ago, you'd stick your head outside or go out and you'd hear birds chirping and singing all over the place. Tweet, 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 chirp, 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 tweet. No more. No birds singing. No birds. No finches, no sparrows. I think I've seen a couple of doves. Geese, yes, they're grass eaters. Ducks, not so many. They're bug eaters. They're gone. But the bird population is, I would say, down by 95 to 97% from what it was. They're gone. They're just not here. Now, the government can tell us, well, they migrated. No, they didn't migrate. I think they're dead. I don't think they're around anymore. The population can't sustain itself with no food. It just doesn't work. Here's any comment, Yoshi? I'm going to read one of these letters we got. It's very interesting.
Yeah, please read. I'm interested in it.
Okay. Okay. This is from Jeremy, Dying Insects in Central West Virginia. Hi, Jeff. It says some very nice things about the program. Thank you. I live in the almost geographic center of West Virginia, a couple of miles from it. It's heavily wooded and rural. The whole county only has about 11,000 people. So I remember when all the craziness started, and before then, he's in his 40s. I have seen a major decline in both insects, birds, and creek life. The yard used to be full of birds years ago. The creeks used to be full of minnows and crawdads, craw crabs, he calls them. They're crayfish. Looking out my window onto the 10 acres of meadow beside my house on this warm summer afternoon, I do not see or hear one bird. Just like I said, the creek is literally empty of life, especially compared to the life it used to have when I was a kid. As far as bugs, there are still a few, mostly wasps. Haven't seen a fly in the house or outside at all for a few years now. The lightning bug population is way down. They used to be everywhere in the summers. We still have some spiders, but I can jog around the field in the evening without a shirt on and not get bitten by anything. Also, I don't have to clean my windshield at all anymore, and I only wash my car about twice a year. The rain washes off the dirt mostly. The windshield never needs cleaned at all. It was cicada season, and as a kid, they would be so thick in the yard, you almost couldn't go out. I think I saw 3 this year. So there you go, and thanks to Jeremy for that. There are several others up there, and I hadn't read this until I just read it to you folks now. He just mimicked exactly my observations. Not intentionally, but that's what he's seeing. And I've got other letters up there that say the same kind of thing. Here, let's see. I'll get another one here. I'll go up here. Anyone who has driven in California's Central Valley has known how messy your radiator, chrome, and windows become, encrusted with hundreds of huge, juicy agricultural insects. This is from Dana, another Dana. In the recent past, a trip across the valley would mean a trip to the car wash. This past month of July 2016, I drove across the Central Valley from Yuba City to Clear Lake. No bugs. I drove down Highway 5, the interstate, to Merced. No bugs. I drove back to Yuba City. My son and I laughed when one medium-sized bug hit the windshield near Stockton. One bug. Last year I had visits from about 3 mosquitoes. This year I saw only 1 mosquito. I do not see many birds now in the Sierra Nevada foothills. These forested hills previously teemed with bugs, birds, and critters. As I walk along, I search for critters like ants, grasshoppers, and beetles. I rarely see any. This forest is becoming too quiet. He's right. And I look too. I don't see ants. I think I've seen 1 colony of ants, a small colony, and they were kind of odd ants. They were running around aggressively little. But you don't see the long trains of ants. Don't even see the carpenter ants anymore. They're gone. And they're just gone. I don't know what to tell you. And this is all being kept from you. These people who wrote in, I asked them, one from California, one from West Virginia. So the east to west, the west to east counter, but it's coming from the east to the west, across the Pacific, from Japan. Death, extinction is spreading all across the country. It is what it is. And it's very sad, very sad.
Yeah, it is a circle of death, moving down from the north to south, getting larger every year, taking out more and more species. It's a mass extinction event. It's a wave of death sweeping across. And it's going to have massive repercussions for, let's say, the food industry when all the no more pollination by insects.
Yeah.
It's going to have enormous effects, I think. And when domesticated animals start to get it, so I think, I think pets. I think there's been a lot of people who've lost their pets of late. If I'm not wrong. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It would be interesting if any of you out there are veterinarians, what you're seeing, what you're noticing.
Yeah. We're seeing the seacoast, of course, all that. So basically, this thing is spreading. Now we're seeing is not just, the trick here, the real problem here in these reindeer and that point to another problem also. When you have these sudden fluxes, these surges coming down, okay? With cosmic rays and radiation and the moisture, they don't leave a lot of trace, okay, in the body. These are protons. These are high energy protons going right through your body like a billion bullets, okay, right through your body, okay, and they exit. So they don't leave a huge radioactive signature. Mm-hmm. And in many of these places we've already got, let's say California, there's a pretty high level of background radiation. In Kazakhstan, obviously, because they did nuclear tests there. Norway, because of granite soils and being in the Baltic area and all that. So, and then Fukushima is just raising the background level everywhere. So
you mentioned granite.
Bodies that are dead may arguably have a lower level than outside, but they were still killed in the flash, just like being microwaved. They're killed in the flash, and you don't find the evidence in the body. Okay, it causes seizure, basically heart failure. Heart failure, circulatory. Your heart fails, and your nervous system, your central nervous system, goes down.
Great.
Your brain and nervous system just collapse.
That's why you have got to take care of what you eat and keep your immune system and your health as high a level as you possibly can. You can't be overweight. You can't be in poor health anymore. You'll pay the price. It'll catch up with you real quick now.
It would be hard to be, let's say, disabled in this situation. That was the amazing thing about Dana, the fact that he could deal with the disability and still do amazing, odysseys out there in the ocean and on land. But that's a rare case. Most people would have a problem. It won't be long before they're felled, so it's very hard. The other thing was I started recommending tinsel. I need to get blockers for alpha and beta radiation, these things that will help a lot. But the other thing is, you can put out a...
Yoshi, hold on a second. Hold on. You're breaking up. Hold on. You're breaking up a little bit. Hold on. Right when you started to talk about alpha radiation, let me read this one more short letter and maybe the connection will get better. Okay. Here's a quickie. This is from Paul. Hi, Jeff. I live in Oklahoma City, and this summer we have had ample rain. Everything is green and leafy, so there should be an abundance of bugs. Even in drier years, there can be plenty of them. But this summer, the bug count is well below what it has been in the past. On the property of the house where I live, we have 2 large night lights mounted on power poles outside. In summers past, there would be clouds of bugs flying around them, as well as on the front porch light by the front door. You would have to fight the bugs to get into the house. Not the case this year. There are a few, but just a few. Even last year, there were more than now, and many more 2 to 3 years ago. I just, blah, 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 blah. He goes on from there. Thank you for all the years of information, longtime listener since the mid-'90s. Thank you, Paul, for that. This is, he had one more sentence here. I just played a show done by Josh such and such, and he said in Wisconsin, he would walk from the grasses, through the grasses, and the grasshoppers would be jumping out of the grass. But he hasn't seen one in 3 or 4 years. And I don't see any grasshoppers around here either anymore. That's amazing. Thanks, Paul, for that. Okay, all right, go ahead, Yoshi. Let's go. Alpha, beta, radiation.
Yeah, well, there are ways to deflect those because they're, and protect against those. But I think now we should be considering, if you do have a vacation home or a house, a green roof, using lots of organic, substances, fibrous stuff, long fibrous stuff.
Ah, interesting idea.
With greenery on top. Yeah, take the Viking approach. I think, burrow. We've got to burrow. It's the only animal surviving are the burrowers, And you're not going to survive long. I mean, but a few years is better than nothing. Better than being out there unprotected. Cement, steel, tin roofs and all that, ceramic, zero protection. Camel grades go right through those things like spongy. Okay. So the organics are isn't it odd that organic?
That is odd. Very odd.
Isn't it weird? We talk about, need for organic food and all that, organic cultivation methods. We talk about all that, and someday we need organic houses.
How funny.
Organic shelter.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? The cure, or at least our only defense against what this so-called modern civilization has brought, the planet devastation, is the organic. Going back to organic, going back to burrowing in life itself, and then building that environment for your pet. Outdoors, same thing.
Yeah.
Don't leave them in a wood. Wood is better than brick or whatever, but most dog houses now are artificial with plastic. There's nothing against them. So
if you live in a wood house, you're much better off. If you have a solid wood house or something, log cabin even.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I've also tried that in Fukushima area. You got to on the fire, but the wood, even the waters of Fukushima, the wood was nearly impervious. And the cell structure. The cell structure, the gamma rays wouldn't be getting very far before it hits the wood fiber. Not some of the DNA on the surface, but the interior of the wood. It was pretty sad. Even the sound that life grew up against a hostile environment. And see, these trees were at a time when the earth was a pretty rugged place. There were volcanic activity, a lot more comets, meteorites. It was a dangerous environment, and life persisted. Life built defensive, Yeah. And suddenly, modern man comes along and says, let's build everything out of plastic and glass. Steel, right?
No.
You got it. Hundreds of millions of years of struggle of life against these elements, against cosmic radiation, against,
nature,
radioactivity.
Nature knew best. Nature prepared for us in a way so we could have a relatively safe existence. And what are we doing to nature? What are we doing to our planet? Millions and hundreds of millions of years of evolution on this planet, and everything slowly worked out to where it got along. It was symbiosis and all. And now look what we've done. Completely upset and destroyed everything.
Well, Tokyo Electric just started running another power plant, a MOX fuel plant in Shikoku.
They did?
They're applying to...
they're applying,
They got started up a month earlier than planning, They just went ahead, all guns blazing, get the MOX fuel going, get more plutonium churning out of there.
Just what we need, ladies and gentlemen. Just what we need.
Then they're applying to reopen one of their TEPCO is going to try to reopen the plant in Niigata. This one where all this one of the big studies was done on the gamma ray, cosmic radiation, and gamma rays. They're trying to reopen that. That one was pretty much disrupted in Earth.
Pretty ironic.
I mean, these people are they're total maniacs. They don't see what's going on. They don't understand. They don't have the slightest clue of the basic science involved, of the risk involved, and they're just plunging ahead with no care for the consequences, and they're doing nothing for the people, of course, at Fukushima. Just go back to these radioactive bubbles, and go back and die. It is outrageous. The world shouldn't take it. Then they catch this company that in China, right? That is smuggled fish from Fukushima. They get radioactive fish, ship it down to Vietnam, ship it to one city in China, I think Guangxi, and then try to sell it in Shandong,
Oh, really? Oh, how considerate.
Yeah, this is a huge amount.
They don't care. Human life, Yoshi, the bottom line is human life means nothing to these people.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing else. Money is everything. And, there may be some desperate fishermen, but, they shouldn't be doing this. You can't, you're a victim of a crisis. You can't be, it's the same, by same argument. Just because you've been bombed in Syria is a terrible thing, of course, or Libya or whatever. Doesn't mean you have the right to go over to Europe and start raping and killing people. I mean, it doesn't give you, by extension, the commission, the continuation of the harm that was done to you. You got to take the hit, like a man, and face up to your own problems. You can't go around there trying to export your problems to other people. This is not happening. Japanese government is out of control. Of course, the American government is totally paralyzed under the current government. It has been. They don't dare mention any of this stuff. When we did the stuff on the ozone hole, it was all edited. That study by 70 international scientists was completely butchered and covered over by NASA and by NOAA. They were the major funders, and they were able to exercise their prerogative. They could just tell the European and Japanese funders, go to hell and take over and deny the Fukushima effects on that, the causal factor of Fukushima radiation on that ozone hole in the Arctic. So, it's good riddance, Obama. That's all I can say. It's good riddance. He has been a contributor to this kill-off.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. He's a poster boy for it.
Let the information come out. Exactly. But this blanket denial is probably the biggest act of...
He just brought, I just was told...
Went on in World War II.
He brought another 10,000 Muslims into the U.S., apparently in the last few days or week, sneaking them in. Yeah. Now, these people, that's not a religion. That is a cult. It is designed, absolutely, to destroy the Christian West. They're beheading little children, Christian boys and girls over there. Yeah. Come on. They treat women like they're garbage. And this guy is bringing them in here. They'll never assimilate. If they assimilate and give up Islam, they're supposed to be killed.
Well, they need to maintain a security state, keep everyone in fear.
Well, that's what they're doing.
Everyone in fear.
Look at Europe.
Yeah, they're trying to that. They used to do that with black ghetto gangs. Now they have to add on. Bring on more undocumented workers come in to kill people. Criminals. Who are empty the prison, send them in. So you can keep bolstering the police, keep building up all these security companies, keep boosting the cyber security that they've been doing. And if there's anybody in the Democratic Party that finds this objectionable, kill them too. That's happened to Seth Rich and Sean Lucas.
They kill people all the time. Article. Look at the work you did and piecing together the stuff I grabbed and you grabbed about the obvious attempt to assassinate Trump that went awry 4 weeks ago, be 5 weeks ago tomorrow. He could easily be dead by now. But he's not.
Yeah. Well, he's been very cautious. He's been very cautious.
I'm sure. Now,
it's crimped his campaign. It's had its effect of limiting his campaign.
By the way, Hillary...
Terrorism is working.
I don't know if you know, but Hillary is not even campaigning anymore. She's got one campaign official stop this week. That's it. Joe Biden is making appearances. Her Vice President Kaine selection is making appearances. The question is why? And the answer is her health. But the media won't say that. They're saying, she's laying low and letting her ratings carry her. No, she's sick. Sick woman.
Yeah, well, here again, it's not like she's confined to a wheelchair and crutches.
Not yet.
These problems are centered in the brain.
Yeah.
They're psychiatric. They're drug-based. Indicates she may be. We talked a lot about MK Ultra. She might have been MK too.
It's nothing would surprise me. Nothing.
Because everything that's happening in this campaign, these attacks on Trump, these attempted attacks on Trump, the killings of DNC, they're all indicating a level of professionalism. actually, tomorrow in Florida, right, is the big Democrat primary where...
I think it is tomorrow.
Progressive challenger.
Yeah.
Against Debbie Wasserman.
Yeah, she's in trouble, too.
They have a rough... Yeah, and I've been trying to say that, the progressives got to wake up, stop attacking Trump, There's got to be parallel movements. We're facing... And the nuclear cover-up is very much should be a part of his campaign because...
Hillary was involved with selling 20% of America's uranium to Russia. That's Hillary. The Clintons. They were involved with that deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. Huge deal.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Yoshi, thanks for everything. Great job on the deer, and as usual, we'll talk to you.
Yeah, I'll get you an article on that, yeah.
Okay.
I'll lay out the science on this, but I think now this is finally the telltale evidence we've been waiting for to show what's been happening.
I agree.
The actual, the scientific step-by-step of what's been happening.
All right.
All right, well, let's just hope we're seeing it well. I know there's just nothing but terrorist attacks on him.
Yeah.
Terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
And media venom attacking him, character assassination. So I hope I can understand why he's not feeling well enough to be on the program, but I hope
he's
he can
tired.
get back on his feet and back. Yeah, and also, it's just hammered him financially to destroy your car like that.
Of course.
This is just, and then force him to go to court and spend all that money.
It's an evil planet, Yoshi. It's an evil planet.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's just a slow, drawn-out murder that they're trying to achieve. And all it's doing is getting us not very happy with them, and it's not going to deter resistance, just like tomorrow's election in Florida. Resistance, within the Democrat Party is not going to be destroyed. It's like the other bad guys are going to get it in the end.
Yeah. All right, my friend, take care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Yoichi Shimatsu, and that's our Monday night program. Wow. All right, tomorrow night, Tuesday, David Icke will be here for 2 hours. Oh, talk about a longtime friend. David will be here tomorrow night for 2 hours, and we will be here for you with, I don't know who the first guest is going to be yet, but we'll be back tomorrow night in 21 hours. You take care, and we'll talk soon.